Hi everyone, it's Adrian. Welcome back to Alternate. It's really good to be back. It's good to see you guys. It feels like it's been a really long time. If any of you follow me on Instagram or you're members of the Facebook groups that I'm a member of, you may have seen this picture. And there were no technical difficulties. It was my mum's 60th birthday and she was staying in town with us for the weekend. And I didn't film. We spent the time drinking champagne and eating French cheese, and it was awful, but someone had to do it. So big happy birthday to my mum. She's currently in Indonesia with my dad celebrating 60 beautiful years. So that happened last week. The week before that was a TMI talk, and it was on the anatomy of wool, which I personally found really interesting. So if you haven't seen that, check it out, or I'll link it in the description box below. Before that, I uploaded a couple of videos. One of them was pre-filmed because I was sitting my exams, and that kind of feels like it was a million years ago now. But let me tell you, those exams were kind of traumatizing. The first, I just didn't know what the hell had happened. And I'm still awaiting results. I think they're a couple of weeks away, and the results from the second exam that I had on that day are about a month and 2 weeks away. So I'll keep you posted if I pass. If not, I'm not telling you. That's really embarrassing. I don't want to let you down like that. Okay, so let's do the credits and get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is like a personal milestone of mine, and I have learned how to hand wind cakes of yarn. You know, it's probably not a big deal to you. You probably do this all the time, but I have had bad experience in the past. Let me get rid of this bag. So here it is. This is a skein of the Brooklyn Tweed loft. You probably can't see it there. It's probably better to see it next to my face. I got a couple of skeins of yarn, mail ordered of course. This was months and months and months ago, and they came in a hank, and I thought, okay, I'll wind this into a ball or something by hand. It should be fine. It won't be too difficult, because I've done this, with the umbrella and the Swift before in the shop. But I tangled it, and it was a complete and utter mess. And I've got no patience for this kind of thing. And Reese, who is more patient, had to go untangling, and we managed to get a tiny ball of yarn out of this skein. And it was just a huge big fail. And so I got another one, and I thought, all right, this time I'm gonna plan it out better. I'm gonna lay it out in a ring on the table, make sure I've undone all of the ties, it's not twisted. It became a big hot mess again. And so that kind of really put me off for a long time. And as I've said previously, the lovely ladies at Nice and Knit have been kind enough to wind the yarn into cakes every time I've ordered, but I looked up YouTube tutorials. YouTube is a very powerful thing. And if I can find the exact one that I eventually learned from, I'll link it down below as well so that you can check it out if you haven't learned yet how to wind cakes of yarn by hand. And of course, it's something that I'm gonna do as a video in the future. And I feel like the lighting has just totally changed. It's a bit of a funny day today. I think it may rain, I hope it does. So this is not a fluke. This is not the first one. This is like my 5th one. So I'm a professional at it now. And Brooklyn Tweed Loft is not necessarily the easiest thing to wind by hand. So I feel like it was a bit of an induction for me, and I've done pretty well with that. So that's great. But that was just a little personal hurdle that I thought I'd share with you. I got a new SD card for my camera, so a memory card. I was trying to do an erase of my old one, and I was sticking it into the card reader, and it literally just shredded it completely to pieces. Luckily, I didn't have an episode on there, but I bought a new one with a bigger capacity and a faster processing speed because the other one was really old. And I keep having to run up and make sure that I'm still filming and it hasn't automatically switched itself off. And it keeps filming, so this is lovely. It's a bit of a luxury. I've never really done the whole, this is what I'm working on now kind of thing on this channel. So I'm gonna do that today, and I've got a calico bag, and this is housing one of my current projects. I kind of almost feel embarrassed showing you this because I haven't really gotten very far on it at all. The day that I uploaded the yarn unboxing video, which is when I got the Brooklyn Tweed and the Nice and Knit, I started knitting a Brooklyn Tweed pattern. And I'm still on the same one panel. And this is it here. So this is the back panel. of the Redford jumper, and it's got some shaping. I really love this twisted stitch chain salvage sort of thing. I'm really about knitting as neat as I can get it, and it makes it really neat, and it's actually just a pleasure even just to knit the panel. But it's a lot of stockinette, so that's it there. And that's all I've really got to show you. That's really embarrassing. I'm pretty slow at knitting in general, but I also don't get a huge amount of time with life and work to knit. I'm just making excuses by now, aren't I? I'm not a fast knitter, that's all. I try to go really neatly, that's why. I am also working on a swatch for another jumper, another sweater pattern, and this time it's a Brooklyn tweed, so something different. It is the Carpino. You can see that hopefully. This is a really cool jumper that has, it's a mostly stockinette. It's a top-down raglan sleeve, knit in the round, as opposed to the other one, the Redford that I'm doing now, which is knit in panels bottom up. But I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it, but there is like a really nice, it's almost like a honeycomb lace pattern on the front of the sweater. So I'm knitting 2 of these, one for my mother and one for my sister, who lives in Ireland. For my mum, and look, it's that marriage between Brooklyn tweed and Nice and Knit. I bought some Nice and Knit in the fingering weight yarn. One was, oh gosh, what are them? The color, one of them is capsize, and this is really vibrant, sort of orangey color for my mum. My mum loves orange, and it suits her really well as well. And then for my sister, it is, I can't remember the exact colorway, but it's this, and it's really beautiful, at least in the photos, really vibrant, and that's coming in a package, 3 skeins of each, so I'm excited to do that. I'll do an unboxing of that, and I will also do a review of the Nice and Knit finally for you, but there are no prizes for guessing whether I'm going to say I like it or not. It's kind of getting hot in here. Reese and I were just building a fence to keep the dogs separate from our neighbours' dogs. We've got new neighbours and their dog, and our dogs don't seem to really get along very well, and they bark a lot. But I was getting the shits with building this fence, and Reese calmly and politely suggested that I come and film. There's something else that I wanted to talk about today, and it's something that's got me really excited and wanting to spend money coming up to birthdays and Christmases, but it's Jared Flood's new book, Woolens, and it's a book of 11 patterns, and they're all accessories. So from shawls to gloves and mittens and hats and scarves, all of these sort of quicker projects that I think we all love to look at and love to do, projects that don't require as much time or yarn. And so I really want to get my hands on it. I don't want to get the electronic version. I think this is a beautiful looking book that would go great on the coffee table, and I seem to like patterns in person, a hard copy to follow. I don't really like to draw on them or anything like that. I do rewrite my own instructions, set it out the way I want to, but I just love having the patterns, especially, when they're nicely produced as well. So, that's really everything that I've got for today. I'm sorry it isn't much, it never really is much that I can show you, but I will be doing next week 2 videos, and it's going to be unboxing of yarn, but this time I know what to expect, and then I'll be doing a review of the Nice and Knit yarns, and I have been using the yarn for a long period of time, and that's why I'm not going to just pump out yarn reviews. I really need to work with the yarn, knit a couple of projects or knit it in a couple of different ways to really be able to see how it behaves. I think if you haven't completely knit a project and washed it and blocked it and worn it and used it and that sort of thing, you're not necessarily going to know exactly how that yarn behaves. And it's different for everybody as well. We all knit differently. So anyway, that's everything for today. I hope you really liked this video. I know that it's just a short one this week, but I promise next week it's going to make up for it. There'll be 2 videos and they'll be a bit longer. But it's always good to talk to you guys, and thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, so that you get notifications when I upload a new video. And that's it. I'll see you next week. Bye.